What's up, and welcome to Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, episode 67. Yes,
We're
that's
so
it.
close.
Oh,
We're
we're
so
so close.
close.
And yeah, it's Monday energy. But you know what?
Look.
We are here for all of you. We're happy to be here. And yeah,
Yes.
I just had my
Yeah,
thing. Go
kind of
ahead.
how it goes sometimes.
Yes.
But we're here.
Well,
We'll have fun.
there we go. I just had a moment that I'm like, technology, did I do the right? I'm like, yes, I did. Okay. Anyway, it's those things like
working?
double.
Are we live?
Yes. Well, yeah, cross your T's, dot your I's. There we go. That's what it is.
Measure twice, cut once.
Yes. We are live in the live chat. So if you're joining us live, check that out.
Yes.
Join in the discussion. If you're watching it later, no worries. Comment down below. We will be talking about the newest episode of Demon Slayer, as well as the premiere of Suzume. And we got a lot of other fun anime announcements, so stay tuned for all of that. We got Giga Derek in the chat saying Monday energy, Friday drinks, weekend fun. Yes.
Is this your weekend? You have a weird schedule, right? Is this your weekend,
maybe.
Derek?
Is it
I don't know.
for you?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, like I know some people. It's like Wednesday, Thursdays their weekends. So,
yeah.
But hey, you know we are here for it. So oh, there it is. And then also we got John Knight said, "Hi ladies, I finished My Hero Academia season 6 dub, and it was a great season. Indeed,
Yeah, it is.
It was a very good season.
Yes.
There we go. Let's get right into it. So things we are excited about. So first one, we got an announcement from HIDIVE.
We do.
Yes, we have a bunch of stuff from HIDIVE, but this one's a quick one.
Oh, that's
first.
right. That one.
Yes. So there is a new English subtitled trailer and first look stills for The Dangers in My Heart. And make sure you go follow us over on NTA. Oh, you know what? We're getting into this, but I'll pause that thought, but we'll come back to it. But anyways, yes, follow us on NTATMB because we'll post pictures of the press release things that we were talking about now. Yes. So Stitch, there it is. Wait, boom.
Did we ever introduce ourselves?
Nope, that was the part, but I wanted to get through this part. But we'll go back to that. Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Carrie Lane.
And I'm Katie Cullen. Take it from the top.
Yes,
take it from the top. Just do
All
it.
right, everybody. Yes. But also, got a live chat. Hello. Charles says, hope everyone had a good Easter weekend. Yes.
Good Easter, good Passover, good Ramadan.
Yes, they all lined up this year.
They did.
Gigaduke says, my weekend is Wednesday, Thursday, but prepared a 2-week notice for my job. Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Yay.
Good luck, fam.
Yes.
Good luck.
That's one of those, is this a yay or a either way, best of luck. Yes. All right, starting over here.
Take it from the top. Let's go.
We have some news from HIDIVE. They are releasing a new English subtitle trailer and first look stills for The Dangers in My Heart. Make sure to follow us on Twitter. We'll be posting a couple pictures from that. It has premiered. So if you've missed it, you can catch up. It premiered on April 1st on HIDIVE. But we'll post those images and the trailer as well so that you can catch up. And new episodes will stream weekly on HIDIVE at the same time every Saturday. There we go. English synopsis. Fascinated by murder and all things macabre, Kyotaro daydreams of acting out his twisted fantasies on unsuspecting classmates. Dark. But an encounter with Ana Yamada, the gorgeous class idol, lights a spark in the darkness of his heart. It's a classic tale of an antisocial boy falling for a popular girl, but neither are who they appear to be at first glance. Will Kyotaro and Ana defy their expectations of each other and of themselves? That sounds cute.
Is it sad that my first thought was he's an aspiring serial killer and she actually is one? No,
that could be a fun show too.
That's just where my brain is at. That's not. Yes. That would be a heck of a show, though. Boy, that'd be a wild one.
Yes,
there is probably at least one show already like that.
Probably. Giga Derek goes, it's themed around so long, and thanks for all the fish. Okay.
All right.
Then Katie, you have some other HIDIVE news.
Continuing on our announcements from HIDIVE, Anime Boston was this past weekend, so we got a good amount of announcements from that. The big one from HIDIVE is that Season 2 of The Eminence in Shadow has been confirmed. For those of you who don't know what the Eminence in Shadow is, it's an isekai where dude gets isekai'd and is like, all right, I'm going to create this secret organization and it's going to stop all the evils of the world. Like, he has this like extended fantasy about how things work. And he's functioning on the laws of this fantasy. What he doesn't actually know is that this fantasy is actually real, and the evils of this world he's been isekai'd to are not super happy about this dude showing up and upending everything. It's like having the Pink Panther in the middle of an actual spy movie. So, The Eminence in Shadow is a wild one. I believe there is also, yeah, so season 2 has been confirmed. Do the thing. It's a wild ride.
Nice.
High Dive also confirmed 2 new acquisitions, Level 1 Demon Lord and One Room Hero, and yes, that is the entire title, for the summer 2023 simulcast season. After his embarrassing defeat at the hands of a brave hero, the Demon Lord is back and ready for revenge. But after 10 years apart, his hero, Max, isn't the dashing do-gooder the Demon Lord remembers. In fact, he's turned into a shut-in slob. So, the Demon Lord attempting to get his rival back into shape for an epic showdown sounds like a blast. And we also have Feast of Amrita coming direct to High Dive for streaming in 2023, which looks to be a horror property, an original horror anime film and spin-off prequel to the 2019 release Aragni Sign of Vermilion. So, if you want horror, if you want comedy, if you want isekai shenanigans, it's looking like High Dive's got it all for you.
Yes.
Summer season's gonna be a banger.
Yes. Charles in chat says, I am atomic.
Yes.
Which I'm all, the song? Because I looked that up. I'm like, it's a song too. There we go. Speaking of things coming up in the summer too, Sentai has their July home video releases coming that they announced. Always, follow these different companies online from all the more specific details. But first, let's take a couple look at these. Well, we have The Executioner and Her Way of Life coming out July 4th. We have Will Ayuma Make His Move. That is also July 11th. Madoka Box, July 18th. Tokyo Mew Mew Mew. That just sounds funny. July 18th. High School of the Dead, July 25th. I know that's a pretty popular title. And more. So stay tuned for July for that from Sentai.
So it looks like some recent stuff, some classics, all sorts of fun.
There we go. Thank you, Charles. It says it's a reference to a line from the MC in the
from Eminence in Shadow.
Eminence in Shadow. Yeah. I can read.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Big Monday energy.
Yes.
The biggest Monday energy.
Woo.
And coming in from Crunchyroll, we have a couple of reminders for spring premieres, and we have a couple of things that have been added. So the additions to the lineup are Stella of the Theater, World Die Star, The Marginal Service, and the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls U149. Crunchyroll also just wants to do a few reminders for a couple of shows that you might have heard of, like Dr. Stone New World, premiered on April 6th. Ancient Magic's Bride Season 2, also April 6th. Mashle Magic and Muscles, April 7th. And the new season of Demon Slayer, as well as the newest season of Mobile Suit Gundam The Witch from Mercury, both yesterday, April 9th. So for those of you going, oh yeah, I wanted to watch that, that's your reminder. You got the first episode of all of those available to watch on Crunchyroll.
Yay! Yes. Actually, I was going to say, I'm like, where's my banner? There we go. This is my Ancient Magus Bride shirt from first season, though. But This was a critter in the first season. And I checked out the first episode, and I'm so excited. And we had a friend post about it as well. And they're kitty cats in a really cool, unique way. And it really just continues on with the story. And so far, so good. And I'm excited to watch more.
I have not gone back to it because there's only so much treatise on mortality I can deal with. Nothing wrong with the show, just more me going, I need something slightly different in my media diet right now. But what I have seen, I have enjoyed.
Yes. Then John Knight says Dr. Stone season 3 English double premiere will do stream on the 20th. Nice. I just watched the Dr. Stone movie. I say movie because it's just like a long episode essentially, and that's the one bridging you from last season to this season. I haven't watched the new episode yet, but it's a fun one, and it's a good refresher a little bit too if you're like a little rusty on where we are in the show.
Yeah.
All right. Things we're excited about. So the other one more. So a different level of things. We have Shibori Threads announced a limited edition streetwear collab with Bandai Namco's Dark Souls.
Nice.
So if you're looking for some cool fashion stuff, you can find them on sale for a limited time on shiborithreads.com. That's SHIBORI threads.com. We'll also post pictures of those. They look really cool. And yes, just a lot of, I was like anime fashion when people, give it, they make it really cool. So yes, check that out, and we'll post the pictures.
And Dark Souls has just one hell of an aesthetic to begin with. That is an extremely dark, I hesitate to say gothic because I don't know the term well enough to know whether that's an accurate use of it or not, but it is a very dark fantasy sort of game, and the monster designs, the character designs, the weapon designs, everything is just incredible. If you hopped onto Souls games with Elden Ring, it's a similar idea in terms of the intricacy and the love that you can see put into some of these incredibly buck wild designs. Like, some of them are flat out scary, some of them are beautiful, some of them are that Venn diagram overlap of both. Dark Souls, heck of an aesthetic.
Looking at the top of the email, font's a little small, so I was like, okay. So it is the other thing about this pretty cool, and I do feel this is probably a really good collab. One, it is custom cut, dyed, and sewn sweatsuit collection, so it kind of has a tie-dye theme going on. But the other part is there is a custom dyed "You Died" tee, and that sounds awesome.
Oh, that "You Died" screen is mimetic. Do we have photos in that email?
Yes, we do. So check out our
Twitter at NTATNB, and we will be posting those. And get yourself some Dark Souls threads.
Yes,
amazing. Of course, they'd make a "You Died" shirt. That's so good. That's so good.
Like, yes, good combo.
That's so heckin' good.
There we go. It's been a minute. So we have Overwatch.
Oh my God!
It's an anime time.
So, the Pro-Am tournament finished this weekend. We had our last round of qualifiers last weekend, and then this past weekend we had the entire tournament. Unfortunately, we did not get to see any of our American contenders teams make it through the qualifiers. Some of them did better than others, but the sheer caliber of gameplay coming through in our Overwatch League teams this year is absolutely nuts, to a degree that there are some teams where they did well and you're like, well, of course they did well, look at their lineup. And there are some teams where they did well and you're like, what? Where did you come from? So I do have to say the big winner of the tournament, which was something of an upset, I think, coming into this season, was the Florida Mayhem. A lot of people had their bets on the Boston Uprising, and Boston did do well in the qualifier rounds and then got knocked out by Toronto. But Boston put together this team of veteran talent that is just an absolutely unbelievable lineup. They got Birdring back. Who does that? Who gets Birdring out of retirement and goes, you want to play again? Boston does, evidently, and Birdring once again proves that he still has it, and are beaten only by the crazy synergy of what used to be the American Tornado line. And American Tornado was the Contenders America group, or the Contenders NA group, that was unbelievably good. This was the team to beat. And their lineup was a little split up. They no longer have their tank from back then, Reiner. He was tanking for the Gladiators last season, and I'm not sure where he is right now. But the rest of that lineup that went through contenders, that worked together really well, is now the lineup of the Toronto Defiant. So we almost have a season 2 Titans idea here where we've picked up a team that's already cohesive, that already knows what they're doing, that already has years and years playing together, except instead of Runaway, it's American Tornado. Vancouver did better than I thought they ever would. Good for them. Holy cow. This former American Tornado lineup is definitely taking names. And Florida, God bless them. I did not expect this lineup. The Des didn't expect this lineup. A lot of people didn't expect this lineup to be as much of a powerhouse as it was. But the Florida Mayhem, in their qualifying stages, dropped one map, not one match, one map at the very beginning to the San Francisco Shock. Proceeded to 2-0 everyone else in their qualifier stages. Proceeded to 3-0 everyone else in this tournament up until the final match, where they took it 4-2 from the Gladiators. The Florida Mayhem are playing out of their minds. And this is a preseason tournament. This is a preseason tournament where everyone thought that Boston was going to take it, given the lineup that they have and the absolutely insane showing that they put up in the qualifier stages. This is a tournament where, and I was one of them, people thought Houston was going to take it because, again, Houston has put together an incredibly good lineup. Houston got Fearless, who was the tank from the Dallas Cowboys last year and an absolutely incredible player. Houston has a fantastic lineup, and they took the Gladiators to a map 5 and then dropped it. The Gladiators have an incredible lineup. Like, I don't think anyone saw Florida rolling up and going, I'm the one you need to fear this season. Birdring Hoomst? So this was our Pro-Am tournament. I believe we have a little time before the season itself starts. I'm trying to find what the schedule looks like. I know that our qualifiers for our APAC and Korea and Eastern teams for contenders just finished this weekend. So I think we're kind of gearing into that tournament. This has all just been completely insane. This has been absolutely buck wild. The weekend of the, I can't do math, 4 and then 3, of the 7 matches played this weekend, 5 of them went to a map 5, or 4 of them went to a map 5. 2 of them were 3-0s, and the last one was the tournament. But it's been an absolutely insane weekend for Overwatch. The Pro-Am tournament is nuts. I really hope they do this again next year and again give contenders teams a chance to play up to league teams and see what goes down. I'm just here for this. This has been absolutely crazy showings for these teams, and we get to see how things were upended and how things changed in the offseason. I think I have to stop making fun of Boston now. And I think I might actually have to root for New York too, which is really weird. But New York picked up Shockwave, and I like Shockwave as a player, so I might have to root for New York, and that's kind of weird for me, you guys. So I'm here for this. I'm loving this season so far, and the season proper hasn't even started yet. If you've never seen an Overwatch League map in your life, starting off with the Pro-Am is not a bad way to go, just to get a taste of the highs and the lows and the absolute craziness that rolls out on this. And again, if you want to know what team to root for, hit me up. I'll assign you one with only a minimal amount of bias.
Never biased.
I mean, if there was a year for Boston to do well, it was season 1, but season 1 is long since passed. And this year they've got a completely crazy lineup. So if there's a year for Houston to take it all, this is it. If there's a year for Boston to do well, this is it. If there's a year for Mayhem to do well, Mayhem has consistently been like an upper middle team. The first 2 seasons were just a nightmare. or no, season 1 was a nightmare. Season 2 was better. And then the other few seasons we've had are like, you've consistently been upper middle. You've been solid. And now they're like, good. They are an unholy terror. Nobody expected the Mayhem Inquisition. And here we are.
You like Giga Derek's comment? And here I left Boston in the gutter.
Most people did. Yeah, and this is the year where they're like, what if we just blow the budget on a crazy roster? And they did. And the roster did pretty well until it ran into the Defiant. And then the Defiant did pretty well until they ran into Florida. And like everyone did pretty well until they ran afoul of Florida. It's going to be Florida Man this season. And I, for one, am here for that. So let's go. It's going to be nuts. Let's go.
I was going to say, speaking of nuts, oh my goodness, we are back into Demon Slayer. We saw the first episode of this season at the premiere, which also go check out those videos on this channel. I will add that link because I don't think I thought of it in advance this time, but I will. And curious what people are thinking coming back into this season.
Yeah.
Also, if you're brand new here, we're going to be talking all about the first episode of the anime. No manga spoilers, please.
Correct.
And if you haven't watched the episode, go watch it and then come back because we're going to talk about everything. So I don't want to spoil it for anything.
We're talking about the first episode of season 3.
Yes.
Which dropped yesterday, the 9th, only on Crunchyroll. Yeah. So we'll be talking in depth about that. If you haven't seen it yet, but you still want to kind of stick around for later, we will have this lower third up while we're talking about it. So just watch the lower third, and when it swaps over, hop on back.
So I rewatched the episode, and it was fun to watch at home because, you know, watching with an anime audience is one thing, and then you're at home, like, is it still good? Because, you know, you're not having the same hype. Yeah. It was still very entertaining. I love Inosuke on the ceiling and waking Tanjiro up, and he's like, I'm just glad you're okay.
Well, and we got the little post-credits bit. Like, I don't think we got that when we saw it in the theaters.
No,
that
I don't think we saw that either. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
and
fun.
Just the bit about, oh, how long has he been up there? And my joke was, oh, he woke up 2 months ago. He's been up there the whole time. It's like, oh, it's been a day. I'm like, of course
you're all close.
Of course it has.
100%.
What a good weirdo.
Big production. Yes. Big production values in that Upper Moon meeting. My goodness, the Infinity Castle was stunning on the big screen, and it's still gorgeous in your home TV. It looks so cool. Oh my goodness.
It's absolutely nuts. And I mean, congrats to, I never know how to pronounce it, if it's Ufotable or Ufotable, like how,
we'll say
the fact that I took like,
or Ufotable?
The fact that I took like 8 years of French has my brain defaulting to Ufotable, which is probably not correct. But
I think I was saying like Ufotable, but
it's something like that. The studio,
the animation company. My gosh, yeah.
The studio, the compositing work on this scene, like when you have 3D animation happening, whether it's background stuff or sets, or whether it's something that is just going to be ridiculously expensive to do in 2D, but easier to do in 3D, crowd scenes, etc. The compositing is extremely important. And it's one of those things where it's putting 2D animation, 2D characters on top of 3D animation, 3D background, 3D whatever. The compositing is what makes it seamless. And it's one of those things where if it's done well, you don't notice it. And if it's done poorly, boy, howdy, do you ever notice it. So the composite, the fact that we had this absolutely amazing sequence and that the compositing was flawless, incredible job. Just that attention to detail. You can have all the Sakuga in the world, but if your compositing is shit, what's the point? So the fact that it's just all the way down, they've got all of it figured out.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well done.
No spoilers for the manga, reminder, but part of that is funny. At the movie screening, you could tell who read the manga because when people showed up, and like screamed and whatever, which is still kind of fun though, because you're like, I can see who read it. But I love meeting all the top 5, because 6 is gone.
5 at this point. Yeah,
Yep.
Gabriel's dead.
Yep. And just meeting
He's
all
back
of
in the
them,
mind
which
prison.
we had met
2.
before briefly. And I really thoroughly enjoyed them like pissing each other off and like fighting amongst themselves because they seem like they're beyond their humanness.
Yeah.
But my goodness, is that very human behavior?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Let's
I
be
was
real.
like,
Being
so
an
funny.
asshole isn't a human trait.
Mm.
And I say this as someone who spends several hours a week at a cat shelter and
Oh, yeah.
occasionally has to do the, hey, quit fighting, stop it bit.
Mhm.
Like, being an asshole isn't exclusively human.
True.
So-
But there are plenty of animals that can be. But it just feels so childish too, but I love it and I'm here for watching it. But I think it's also because like they're the only people, they're the only ones who could essentially hurt each other. And at this point, so it's just it's funny to see them get knocked down a peg, essentially. So you're like,
Yeah. Taking their heads off, taking the jaws off. That was an incredible hit. Well, I deserved that.
Yeah.
Like, alrighty. Okay. And the fact that Upper 2 is just that it's revealed at the end that he's the head of some sort of religious order.
That was interesting.
One fear. Like, oh, that's going to be a problem later on. And let's be real, just putting this out there. Upper 1 is the guy from the flashbacks.
Oh yeah,
he is.
I'm going to go
absolutely
100% that's the guy.
He is the sun breather from the flashbacks.
Yeah. Which put a pin in that. We'll come back to that in a moment. But yes, Akaza doesn't get along with anyone. LOL, Charles. Yes. Oh, I love that too. I love that he's like, I don't like anybody. Like, oh, our cute little grumpy boy.
Well, and and I was made a demon after him, but promoted before him. So that's got to be hard on his ego.
Yeah. Oh, and he's just so bad. Giga goes number 5, the pothead.
All right. Yep. I'll take it.
Yes.
I love the pot you gave me. I'm displaying a woman's head in it. Mm-hmm. Oh, that wasn't the intended idea, but I'm intrigued.
Yes. Giga points out they do look the same from behind. It's like the exact same haircut, style, earrings, all that.
But if you look from the front as well, like we kind of get the jump scare shot with the 6 eyes, but he's got that scar.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That fun sun breather, ever-changing scar. Like he has that. So
this is what I want to know too. Of Charles says, I wonder how he went from fighting Muzan to becoming Upper 1. I agree, because I'm like, well, how did that journey happen?
Because he also talked about like, I think at this point we do hit the flashbacks because we're talking about him right now, and we just do that one little encapsulated flashback that we had.
Yeah, which at first you're like, why? Tundra? What is up with Tundra? I'm like, oh no, that's your dad. No, then I was just thinking it was weird.
I don't think it's his dad. I think
it's like an older brother?
Ancestor.
Oh, even further back. Okay.
Oh yeah, just given the timelines on all of this, because we get that the upper ones, the upper 5 now.
Top 5.
I'm just going to call them the upper 6 because that's the division. That's the terminology that they use.
One in there, yeah.
The upper 6 have been unchanged for over a century, 113 years since the last time they were all called together. And we do get like last season when we had the conversation about Daki, when we had the woman trying to confront her and going, there's always someone with Hime as part of her name that shows up and she's always awful and people always disappear around her. And it happened when I was a little girl and it's happening now. Like, so we know there's some longevity in here. We know that Gyutaro and Daki were, I believe, the most recently added and the most recently waxed. So if they've been there for 100 some odd years, then the others would have been there even longer ago. So we don't know.
I suspect
someone else in the bloodline. Yeah, I am.
Then that really is well, you look like your great grandfather, like how those things happen. Yeah.
It's anime shorthand for these people are related. They look exactly like each other. All right, ancestors, perfect.
But then does that also be like, is that our same dude? But the thing that where I was like,
it's our same.
Sure, dude. I think it's same dude. I want to know with man from flashback to demon in the castle. Okay, but then also the dude that Tanjiro sees at Swordsmith Village, that I'm like,
I don't think
what?
he's there. He's not physically there.
Exactly.
Tanjiro is
Mhm.
seeing things, as is also evinced by the fact that he's the one having this flashback that he was not there for. This is, I think, some Sunbreather inheritance coming down the line, especially given some of the stuff that we see in the opening.
Yep.
So, yeah, again, here is my, wait, no, it's on this side. The timeline for Demon Slayer. It's all up here.
And Charles agrees, yes, got to be a Tanjiro ancestor.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. And the fact that his ancestor wanted to
But if he's not there
keep
too,
this person's
why
name
does he see him? That's
because
what
he's seeing shit.
I guess.
Where this is not a show that puts itself firmly in the normal physically possible.
Yep.
This is a show where you can breathe a wound shut. Like we're dealing with the metaphysical here. I would also not be surprised if there is something particularly special about the Sunbreather line, about that legacy, about that ability that like, hey, can other fire breathers see? Can other water breathers see water breathers pass? Like, how does this work?
Yep.
And we don't actually know. But the fact that sun breathing is special, that there's something very different about it, it wouldn't surprise me if memories and emotions and whatnot can be passed on along with techniques. Yeah, because like Tanjiro learned this from watching his dad do a dance.
Yeah.
Like, this was not something that was passed down to him as a combat technique. It's something that was layered over the combat techniques that he learned. This is on a whole different level.
Yes.
So it wouldn't surprise me if a mentor, a pioneer in the technique, if something like that came with it, especially since most likely that same dude is still alive in the form of this demon. Unless demon number 1 is like a body snatcher. I'm going to put a pin in that. Like, that's my little, that's the dumb theory. What if it's a body snatcher and he lost to it? And it's like, oh, surprise. I don't think that's the case, but it'd be funny.
Daki's flashbacks too, because she did see him as well.
Yeah.
Before he was a demon.
So like, there's something up.
Oh, wait, then that also would mean he's not older than her. If she saw him as a demon, or she just connected to it.
I think she just connected.
Yeah.
I need to go back and rewatch that. It's been a hot minute since those particular episodes.
Moment.
But it's
also, good point. So Charles said the little kid talking to the Miss Hashira said he was guarding something. So
we're not there yet. But yes.
It was Muzan flashback. Yes. There we go.
That's what that was, because all of the demons have Muzan's blood in them. So it would have been. Yeah. So that I do think that, like, as much as I like this brand new body snatcher theory that I've just come up with, I don't think that is the case. I do think that is that person fallen and converted into a demon, because we also have, during this flashback that we do see with Tanjiro's ancestor, it's, you said you didn't have any heirs. I would like to keep your name in the family because you're the only reason we're alive. And him going, I'm worthless. I have failed. My name is worthless. Do not keep it. So it would not surprise me if there was a direct line from I'm worthless, I have failed, to becoming a demon.
Yeah.
Because we already had writ extremely large last season, the There But For the Grace Go I, with Gyutaro and Daki, and Tanjiro and Nezuko, just kind of the, oh, I see the parallels. Oh, that could be us. Oh boy. So would not surprise me if there is a direct line from no, I am a failure to I will become a demon now.
Yeah.
And also Muzan going, sure, I'll convert one of my worst enemies into one of my most loyal generals. Let's go.
I think he would enjoy that satisfaction too.
Oh, absolutely. Anime Michael Jackson is up for that shit. Are you kidding?
Right. Oh, I like seeing him back. He's a villain that I'm like, ooh, you're scary. And this is like, that video game leveling up that you're like, all right, so how long will it be for Tanjiro to get strong enough? Which, speaking of that, when he meets Love Hashira, which I really want to know what her abilities are. But I
love her. I love her so much. She's so good.
She's so funny. Don't tell anybody I ate so much, and like just indulge in life and love. I love it so much. But she points out to him, your experience is worth more than 10 years of studying. So she's like, hold on to that. And her nice little, there's a secret weapon around here. And you're like, okay. Also, yay for a nosebleed, Tanjiro.
I love it.
He's so precious.
I've been watching this with my roommate, and she pointed out, like, all right, we're looking at the only female Hashira, and that we have all been burned by shonen anime's treatment of women before. So she's kind of like, please, just please, please. And on the one hand, yes, absolutely. Like, as someone who grew up on things like Dragon Ball Z and went, all right, we have basically no women in this shonen show, and the ones that we do have just get sidelined, or their love interests, or their harpies, or it's just fan service, or, you know, that's problems with shonen anime. We've gotten better, but we're still not perfect. So I understand the concern, but I also really love that we are unabashedly leaning into, well, yeah, I joined the Corps, and I became a Hashira because I wanted someone big and strong to protect me. And this is where all the heckin' strong people hang out, and it's an exclusive club, so I had to be heckin' strong myself. So let's go. And just the fact that she is unabashedly feminine, and like you said, really enjoying life, really enjoying the finer things. Just, I cannot wait to see her in action outside of outside of the opening. Like, the opening's always really fun for stuff like this, but also, like, I want to see this in action.
I
also just love that we go a little nuts. Like, she is allowed to be super feminine and also super powerful. So, yeah.
Tanjiro drinking his respect for women juice in that meeting. Always. I love that when she's running at him and he's like, your boobies are gonna fall out. Like, whoa there.
Like, please.
Yes. And
not for my sake, but your own.
Yes, how she effortlessly flung him around as he tried to help cover her up. Yep, that was just precious. Also, how much Nezuko loves her.
Yeah,
you know, she's like, "Come here, baby," and it's like, oh, that's great. I love this episode's a lot of love. I love the people.
It's also 49 minutes long, so
yes, the mass and how. Oh, no. It's not your fault the sword broke. If that guy made a faulty sword, it's his fucking fault. And I'm like,
yes. And also just the look, listen, he's a little temperamental.
He's a baby.
He's a little angry. So it's just like, okay, so Tanjiro just by the luck of the draw got assigned to, and then there's this asshole. Okay. That sounds about right for Tanjiro's luck.
Yeah.
Just like, buddy.
It's so funny. It's at the beginning of the episode, but also the thoroughness of getting people there without knowing where it is was entertaining as well too. And meeting more of those characters.
Yeah. I really liked the God bless that medic. I'm the one who took him there. I'm the one who told him to wake up. I'm the one who did this. That was me. I've been here the whole time. You didn't know it.
Why didn't you call? He woke up.
You're supposed to call for someone. And then he leans out the door and just yells his face. But just I've brought some cake for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully it'll stimulate his sense of smell. If it doesn't, feel free to like clear it away. And he's like, oh, thank you. Oh, you're welcome.
He's like, yep.
Amazing.
Another big part. Good point. Charles points out, yep, Genya Mohawk Boy showed up again. We've seen him a couple times, which there you go. That is one of the Love Hashira's weakness. He ignored her, and she was very hurt by that.
It was heckin' rude.
He's giving me Major Bakugo energy. He's all, why? Well, like early, like just grumpy yelling, and you're like, what the is your problem?
Worse than Bakugo energy.
Oh yeah, maybe just how he yelled "die" when we first saw him was a bit like, oh, this feels familiar. We've met this.
No, this is worse.
Yeah, that too.
Just the continued insistence, like, are you related to the Wind Hashira? Are you
Mhm.
brothers? Yeah, casually pulling out his own teeth, like,
Yeah.
that might be a sign of malnutrition.
Oh,
You should maybe get that looked
well,
into.
maybe that's why I thought so too. Charles says he is the same Japanese voice actor. That's why it felt
That would
familiar
do
too.
it. That
I
would
was like, that
do
sounds. I
it.
feel like I've heard that
Yes.
phrase. It's just a little.
It's like, hey,
Well,
no,
he is
that's familiar.
older too, so
Yeah.
Anyway,
And also just the, are you related to the Wind Hashira? And oh
Mhm.
my god, dude, like, are you okay? So he's going to be an interesting. We just kind of have just a slew of interesting characters to
Mhm.
contend with. In
Yes.
that we have removed Zenitsu and Inosuke from the equation for
I'm a
God
little
knows how
bummed, but
long.
I'm kind of curious to see where this goes with that. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, but this
And
is
that also
Tanjiro's
gives
development.
those two a chance to develop off screen. And
Mhm.
let's
Mhm.
like, we could do little side chapters, we could
Yep.
do filler episodes, we could do whatever, or we could just have them come back and be like, sup, I
Yep.
got better.
Yep.
Just the fact that we can have this parallel development without having to show all of it. And the fact that as an audience, we can go, yeah, I'm going to miss them, but
Mhm.
I know they'll be back, just with the confidence that they won't kill these characters off
Yeah.
screen, but also going, all right, well, two of the main four aren't here right now, but that's okay. I heckin' love the other two and I want to see what happens. Like, there is so much strength to the ensemble cast of this show. It's incredible. Because I would watch the 5-episode miniseries about whatever the heck Inosuke is getting up to. I might not watch the 5-episode one about Zenitsu, but that's personal preference. That's a me thing.
Well, we also get the two, not one, but two Hashira too, as well.
Yeah.
So yay!
There are probably not 5-episode miniseries about either. I'm making a point.
Yeah.
For everyone going, there's a what? No.
But I meant like in terms of that's nice. Of since they're not here, we get to
Yeah.
focus on some other new characters. So
Yeah.
I'm excited for that.
I'm just saying the strength of those side characters.
Oh,
I
yeah.
would also watch a show just
Yeah.
focused entirely around them,
Mhm,
and then
mhm.
also come back and then also watch them all as an ensemble. Like,
Yes.
it's not easy to do that.
Yeah.
And they've done it. And also we have I hesitate to call them the more minor Hashira. Like, some of the
We need
Hashira
to
give
learn
off
more
more
about them too. Yeah.
Well, some of them give, like, when we had that first introduction with all of them there, some of
Yes.
them gave off a lot more main character or main villain energy than others. These two were very much like, you are unique in that you're not saying a goddamn thing, and you are unique in girl. So,
Mhm.
okay, but you feel more minor than
Mhm.
everything else. And it's like, oh, okay, no, they are not more minor. They're not. But we do get to focus on them. And I realize I've been saying girl, and our fucking insect Hashira is a girl, and I'm so bad at this.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, 2, but that's still
2.
not that many out of the whole group.
Just
Well, we also haven't seen her in a hot minute, so it is like,
yeah, it's just
oh,
brain.
yeah.
Whoop. It's like,
It's okay.
oh wait,
I
wait.
didn't go, no, you're wrong. But funny thing is, I was just in Little Tokyo.
Neither did chat. You guys are supposed to check me on this.
Yeah, you guys are like, hey, wait a minute.
Excuse you. Peanut gallery out here falling down in their responsibility. No, you are not obligated to know everything.
Yeah.
Just I can't believe I forgot that until literally just now.
But yeah, I was just in Little Tokyo and showing my friend. I'm like, and this show is this thing, and then this butterfly girl, so she's on that show. So I'm like, I did just see her too. Good point too. Charles says we did hear from Tengen last season that the Miss Hashira picked up a sword and within 2 months became Hashira. So
right, he's a
there's
prodigy.
something special. There's something special about them. Funny random side note. At WonderCon, there was a lady there who had the Miss Hashira kind of hair, which she had no intention of doing that. But I was like, oh, your hair, do you watch Demon Slayer? She's all, no. And so you look like a character. Found the picture and showed her. She said, oh my gosh, it really does look like that.
Yes. Built-in cosplay. Let's do it. Let's go.
Right. It's already there.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this episode of anything else in here before?
I mean, just given what we have from the opening, and given the, yes, this upper 5 has information and we're going to go figure it out. They know where the village is. Like, they
Mhm.
finally figured out where the village is. We're going to have 2 of the upper 6 demons showing up at the Swordsmith village. Like, we see that in the opening, and Demon Slayer openings generally don't lie. So, because I believe it is Demon Slayer openings where if we see it in the opening,
That
it
is-
happens.
Thank you, Giga Derek. Mitsuri Kanroji is our
Butterfly
cutie patootie.
Hashira.
No, that is our love one.
That's our loved one. Thank you.
Yes.
I'm real good at this game, you guys. I'm just so heckin' good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it's
yes. And then also,
So-
that we'll be fighting 2 demons. So we get 2 Hashira because we are fighting 2 demons as well. So that's something as well. That's important.
To be fair, we also kind of were last season. It's just that one of them was Daki.
True.
Daki was not at Gyutaro's level.
Oh, this is another good point. Thank you, chat. So this is the other thing with live chat. If you see other things that stood out to you, please feel free to join in and leave comments down below. So the Upper Moon meeting, Muzan is having them all look for the flower he had the Akaza looking for last season. Yes.
The blue spider lily.
Mm-hmm.
And with him doing all of his glass work and whatnot, we have the continuation of last season he was pretending to be the child of these biologists. Trying to figure out essentially a way to cure demons' sunlight allergy.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, definitely excited to see more. I'm so glad it's back because it felt so far away. And then I'm like, oh, it's here. I saw a Crunchyroll post on Twitter. I temporarily forgot. I'm like, oh, yay. So let us know your thoughts on this new episode.
I've also still kind of got my pin in Nezuko potentially healing the head of the family because now that we know what demon poison looks like.
Oh, thank you. Because I
don't know if he has
struggling. Yeah, sure. We don't know exactly how he has this condition, but it sure looks familiar to what we've seen.
A lot like, and honestly, given that he's talking about Muzan as like his family, a blemish on his family name, I wouldn't be surprised if it was something that was like passed through the bloodline, inherited, and that when his kids hit a certain age, they'll start getting it too.
Maybe.
Like,
but I 100% also was like, I think actually when we first saw Nezuko do that, I was like, take Nezuko back to the guy. Let's hurry up and solve this problem.
Let her just burn the poison out.
Try it. Yeah. Yes.
What's the worst that could happen?
And I was looking to see, and let's do.
But I think that's 2 pieces of the puzzle that I don't think anyone has the knowledge to put those 2 pieces together. I don't think any of the Hashira know what the affliction is. And then they definitely don't know that Nezuko can burn out demon poison.
Our flashy boy might go like, hey, wait a minute. He might say something, but he's gone off to live with his wife, so
he's going to
live his best life.
He's going to recuperate, and I'm honestly still sitting here going, we got to meet his younger brother at some point. They gave us an actual honest to God character design for his younger brother that we saw. We didn't see any character designs for any of his other siblings because they all died in ninja training, but we saw I believe it was colored. It wasn't just a silhouette character design for his younger brother. It's got to come up. I
did love this moment. The demon cat, when he's like, I thought you died. Oh, it's so precious. It's like
the cat's sitting there like, thank God. Oh, I'm going to go report back to the doctor and be like, he's awake.
That was so cute. It was so cute.
So cute. That baby.
That is it for Demon Slayer for now till next week. Oh, which actually, speaking of next week, we're not going to have an episode. We might put something else in that time slot, so stay tuned, but it won't be a regular like this episode.
Yes.
So then we'll talk about Demon Slayer 2 episodes for the next one. Yeah.
Yes. We will have a special feature or we will have a bye week. Stay tuned.
Yes. Which follow us on NTATMB to make sure you're up to date on that. And the other thing, which is here on this channel, why we didn't have an episode last week, we got to go to the premiere of Suzume. Well, I heard it. Okay, so here's the fun one. Not fun, but like I felt in the movie it was more like Suzume.
I think you're right.
And then, but I thought I had said it more like Suzume, and I'm not.
I think it is Suzume.
I think it's Suzume.
I just keep hearing the cat's voice in my head. Suzume.
That
So
too. Like that's the oh man, I'm gonna hold on. Quick momentary tangent corner of like that's the thing that drives me nuts in watching a show or a movie when different characters pronounce one character's name differently. And you're like, but I want to say it correctly. I want to know what it is.
It is the Naruto problem.
So anyway, what are some shows or movies that you love, but everybody says the character's name differently?
Again, I'm going to pin this as the Naruto problem.
But anyway,
I think for that one, like the cat is such an esoteric little character on its own. I don't know that we can really. It's just one of those things where it lives in my head. That particular. It's like having a song stuck in your head, but instead it's a particular inflection of a particular delivery.
Sure.
I have a Markiplier line that lives in my head in much the same way. So like there's a few things where it's like, no, it's like anyway, put the tangent corner back up. And it's that sort of thing where your brain latches onto something and goes, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but it lives here forever now. Which, if anyone has ever seen a Dragon Ball Z abridged, that is where I can see the future comes from. And it's delivered in such a way that, like, nope, anytime I say the phrase, I can see the future, it's going to be in that exact inflection and tone because that's where I heard it and it lives in the brain now. Like, my brain is a magpie for weird stuff. Just weird stuff.
Yeah. Well, I thought going in, it was like that kind of an inflection, but it sounds more like it's here and then that. But we were there at the premiere for Suzume, and it is a beautiful film. It will become, I think it's this week.
It's this Friday. It's the 14th.
Thank you. Yes, I was like 14th. Yes. Comes out in theaters on the 14th. If you can and you are comfortable, do highly recommend in theaters because this is like very grandiose and beautiful. And it is inspired. One thing that I think is great to know contextually about this filmmaker is a lot of the more recent titles are definitely influenced by the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. And I feel that just gives you as a viewer more context and appreciation to a story because it's one thing of like, yeah, sure, that's a thing. But then you understand the deeper meaning of the metaphor of like, oh, okay. Because you might not assume that right away when you're watching, but you should check out our interviews and we'll post more footage of that too. But mainly here on the Fanversation channel, there's a whole playlist.
Yes.
Also linked in the description. But yeah, beautiful film. And Katie, what are some of your quick thoughts? And don't worry, we will not spoil it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Makoto Shinkai feature, so it is going to be very emotionally resonant. It's also very good at occasionally, I think it was Josh that I was talking about. I had an interview with Josh Keaton talking about the slice of life moments in these movies where there's a lot going on. There's a larger overarching plot. There's, the bits that make you kind of lie on the floor and cry for a while. But there's also the slice of life bits. There's making dinner for the family. There's being able to sit down and have that conversation or going out to a movie or going out to whatever with friends. Like, it shows that there are big things going on, but also life doesn't stop. Life isn't just the big things. It's also all of these little things that you do every day. It's all of these little human interactions that make life worth living. So I really enjoyed this movie. I honestly kind of wish it had been a 6-episode miniseries that we'd had like 3 hours and we were able to space out a few other things. Just the way it's structured, I think it lends itself very well to that. We saw the dub. We saw the dub. The dub was phenomenal. I have not yet had the opportunity to see the sub, so we can't speak to that. But the dub cast and the dub director did an absolutely phenomenal job. The adaptation, the delivery, everything. So good. Yeah, I thought I was going to get through this movie without crying, and then in the last 10 minutes it showed up and went, "Sure about that?" So,
Same.
but
But
it
also, don't be discouraged because there is
oh,
so
no, no, no.
much wonderful humor in this
Oh my
movie.
God, yes.
My goodness. And hearing that with an audience, and when something can translate well from being a subtitle and being funny to being, dubbed over and being funny. Oh, yeah, it's so good.
And it's not like, "Oh, this is a comedy funny." It's things happen naturally in life
Mhm.
funny.
Mhm.
It's it takes a little bit to get there,
Yeah.
but it is very good and very poignant.
Yes.
So, highly recommend.
Yeah. Trying to think of any thoughts. Well, one, yeah, it was really. I really enjoyed talking with the actors and everybody ahead of time. Also a big theme in it is also hope that
Mhm.
even if awful things happen, there's still
Yeah,
second chances and you can change things later. So go
yeah.
check out those voice actor interviews here on this channel. Link down below. I was trying to think of any other moments. But
I
yes,
mean, it's
well,
hard not to go into spoilers
yeah, I'm
or
like,
to talk about specific things.
yeah. Well, the big important one. Thank you very much, Crunchyroll, for having us at the premiere. It was very
Yes.
fun covering their carpet and being able to see the film. They also had a Q&A with the director, which was great and very insightful to just hear him talk further about it. And Q&A was really good too, because
Yeah.
sometimes audience members, let's be real, sometimes questions are a little bit like, okay. But they had very insightful, very interesting kind of questions and very specific, which is great
Yeah.
too. And
Every single
great answers.
question,
Mm-hmm.
every single question was very thoughtful. And you don't always get thoughtful questions from an audience where they haven't been vetted beforehand. And I think we all kind of have that convention experience where someone gets up and says something and you're like, "All right, that was nice. Thanks." But no, every question at this Q&A was fantastic, and I have to say my favorite one was when the Shinto priest called
Who's also a journalist.
who's also a journalist, called him out for one of the mantras that they use in the movie. And it's when you see it, you'll recognize, like, oh, this is what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Sort of starts out as like a
They call it
Shinto
a
mantra.
spell in the movie.
Yeah.
And she's like, no.
It's more of a poem. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, yes, if I had a chance to do it again, I would put it as more of a poem. Wasn't expecting to get called out by a Shinto priestess, which was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
That
But
was
even
so good.
just knowing that and him talking about it like, yes, when you watch it in Japanese, like people who practice Shintoism, people who know this would recognize that as something and find it familiar and comforting. It's like, this is incredible. Oh my God, it's layers like onions. You peel one
Yes.
away and you're like, that was really deep. And then there's 30 more. And you're like, oh my God.
Well, the other part, how he mentioned, is just how much of Shintoism is like embedded into Japanese culture, even if
Yeah.
just subconsciously as well. So I thought that was really great in how he explained his thought process on it. And so it's just, those are such beautiful opportunities where you get a chance to like hear deeper thought process versus just see the movie and you're like, and I'm done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really awesome. Always fun. And then yes, seeing it with anime fans, always the best too. You all
Oh, yeah.
rock, make it very entertaining. I think that's kind of it without, we don't want to do spoilers. So
Yeah, we will not be doing spoilers. Again, Suzume comes out on the 14th. It should, I believe, be available in wide release. So check your local theater's website, see what's up. I'm actually going to see if it's in the AMC app. I bet it will be.
Yeah.
We're just
Well,
going
while
to do
you're
that
looking,
right here
that would
because
also
I'm that person that's like, yeah, it's
do
always not sponsored by AMC, but that sure as heck is my local theater. So
Well, I'd say that ties into our next segment called Stuff You Should Check Out, which we tell you about different shows, movies, video games, books, anything that we're
coming
checking out.
soon, Suzume.
Nice.
It's in the AMC app.
All right.
Amazing. They are already selling tickets for showings. There we go.
Alrighty.
So we've seen Suzume, and it was great. You should check it out.
I finally actually caught up on a lot of movie things.
Alrighty.
One, I did see Dungeons and Dragons.
Yes.
So, yes, I know you had talked about it, so that was fun. As someone who has never ever played D&D, it is still a very entertaining fantasy adventure show, movie. And
who was your favorite character? I gotta know.
Probably the Tiefling. I liked her.
Oh, she's wonderful.
And just how people interact with her is very entertaining. And the owl there is so cool.
I loved the Paladin. The Paladin is like he came on screen and I went, oh no, I have a character type. Yeah. And it's
yes. It's very entertaining.
Amazing. It's so good.
Oh, people letting us know other things coming out. Mobile Suit Gundam, Witch from Mercury. Yes, the new episodes are out.
Yeah, we mentioned that at the top. Crunchyroll did send us a reminder. They are available.
Giga Derek says, saw Dungeons & Dragons and Mario movies back to back. Love them both. Nice. I enjoyed Dungeons & Dragons. Very fun. Then I also saw John Wick 4, which is just more exciting John Wickness. That if you like the other movies, you'll enjoy this one. My only semi-complaint is there's like barely, if no, cool female fighters that are like real characters. There are some hench people that are ladies, and there is like one, and I'm all, So I was a little disappointed in that. Doesn't mean you can't love the movie, but you're just kind of like, come on, aren't there any ladies? But then, that's the
shonen anime problem that we talked about, you know?
Just a little bit. When does this one come out? Also, I think coming out soon, I'm double checking a date, is a movie called Polite Society.
Yes. Oh, those trailers look amazing.
Yeah, so that one should be coming. I think that's also coming soon. Might be April 28th. That's by Focus Features. So it's the end of the month. Well, this one says only in theaters April 28th, but I see some other dates. So check your local listing.
Yeah.
This movie is very kind of quirky and some whimsical, silly kind of stuff, but it has like old kung fu fighting and is so fun and with such kind of a nice palate cleanser in the way of like, I got no ladies fighting. And this one has so many ladies kicking butt and in beautiful clothes at different times too. So then I'm like, this is just so fun. Like they're cool and it looks nice. And so I do highly recommend checking that one out when you get a chance. It's a very entertaining. Also just kind of one of those, it's slice of life in a way, but like with fun absurdity. And that just makes it very entertaining.
So you got a chance to see it.
I got a screener. Yes.
Hell yeah.
So there was that. And that's pretty much the big movies I saw. Mandalorian is still fun. I know some people are like, it's getting weird and jumping the shark or something like that. And I'm like, stop it. It is so fun.
To have a little fun.
Yes, exactly. And
it's
Ted Lasso is still...
Oh, go ahead. What?
Oh, I was going to say, and Ted Lasso is still amazing as a show.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was going to say, for Mandalorian, I understand, like, we've had a bit of a tone shift, and if you liked the earlier stuff and you're not into this, like, that's fine. It's perfectly fine that a thing you enjoyed is now no longer a thing you enjoy. That happens, and boy, howdy, have I had that happen on more than one thing I like. Like, there is nothing wrong with curating your media experience. There is nothing wrong with saying, there is nothing wrong with KonMariing your media experience, with saying, this once brought me joy, and it does not bring me joy any longer, and letting it go. Like, there's nothing wrong with going, it's no longer for me. I don't like the form that this has taken, and just letting go of it.
Mm-hmm.
I know that we got the announcement at Star Wars Celebrations, which was in London this past weekend, that The Mandalorian would be ending. We got the trailer for Ahsoka. We got a new video game. We got just all sorts of crazy Star Wars news.
2025, it's going to be in Japan.
Yep.
So I was like, that looks so good.
Oh boy, oh buddy, oh boy, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah. No spoilers, but Mandalorian has some wild cameos this last episode. Loved all of it. No spoilers if you've seen it, because that was so fun to know nothing of who was going to be in it.
This past week's episode of The Mandalorian was simply a joy.
Mhm.
It had everything I like. It had the jokes. It had buddy cop. It had rules
Mhm.
lawyering. It had incredible cameos. Like, I really, really had fun with this week's episode. And I know that it's very polarizing for the fandom. I'm friends with a few people who just could not stand it. And
Mm.
everyone has their different opinions and their different
Mhm.
things that they come to the property for. And again, if it's no longer giving you joy, there's no reason to hold on to it.
Yep.
It's okay to move on.
And
It's
no need to
okay to
yuck
say
on
it's no
anybody
longer
else's
for me and
young.
let it go. And I mean, heck, if you want
Yep.
to rant and be angry about it, like, that's fine too. You can do it in your space. You just don't go into the space of someone who said, I really enjoyed that, and go, well, actually,
Mhm.
like,
Mm-mm.
it's venting about what you don't enjoy is valid. Doing it in the space of someone who is enjoying it is not
Mhm.
valid.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah,
Hmm,
I went from like not many movies to a bunch of movies this last bit. Any other big
there.
things you watched that you want people to know about?
Yeah, I saw the Mario movie. Um,
Nice.
it was all
And
right.
okay.
It was all right. It was at its core, it was very much an Illumination Studios movie, which,
Okay.
if that doesn't ring a bell, that is Minions and Despicable Me and Secret Life of
Mm,
Pets. It's
mm,
that studio.
okay. I
So
gotcha.
at its core, it very much was an Illuminations movie. Downtrodden, not looked well on main character, doing their best, growing as a person, doing the thing. You know, it's very basic Illumination storytelling. Um, I do think that it had some weaknesses. I do think that
Mhm.
Luigi was criminally underused to
Mm.
the point where it weakened parts of the climax because they felt unearned because we got
Mm.
just so little screen time with him. And Charlie Day's performance was great, don't get me wrong. We just didn't see nearly enough of him. It felt like we couldn't damsel Peach, so we're going to damsel Luigi, and it's like that's not the point, you guys.
Mm.
So there were some weaknesses in the story.
Okay.
Jack Black as Bowser is one of the best things I've seen in a kids movie in ages. He steals the scene, he steals the movie. He's
Mhm.
unbelievably good, and he is obviously having an incredible time with it. Like, the Bowser musical interlude halfway through the movie is worth the price of admission alone. It's so good. He's good. Chris Pratt as Mario is serviceable. Peach is the best iteration of Peach I think I have ever seen. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong is a good time. It's one of those movies where they put a lot into it, and some of it works and some of it doesn't, and some of it is very much, hey, have you been a Mario fan for like 30 or 40 years? Here's the Easter eggs. I will also say that I need that score to be on Spotify so I can put it back in my ears and listen to it like all the time, because it is a lot of those classic Mario tunes. It's those, okay, this is the Superstar tune, this is the Underground tune, this is the Underwater one, this is like those, all those Mario tunes that like everyone knows. It's these orchestra versions that are remixed, remastered, redone, reimagined, I think is the right word. And so when you get those little musical stings, it works, but it's also not like, oh, we just slap the song in there. It's the orchestra piece is playing, we've got the score going, and then it segues into that bit, and it just.
Oh.
I don't usually walk away from an animated movie going, the music though, but like, the music though, you guys. The music though. So I give it a solid 7.5, 8 out of 10.
All
Good
right.
time.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it. We'll most likely see it again. Music was incredible. Definitely going to keep an eye out for more Easter eggs because they had a lot of very fun stuff in there. And
Mhm.
it just, yeah, it's your basic Illuminations movie. It's
Yeah.
a good one. You know, we have long since broken the curse of video game adaptations are bad. Like, they're not anymore, you guys. They're not. Detective Pikachu broke it. Both Sonic movies trod that into the ground. Arcane exists, y'all. So the Super Mario movie is it's a good time. It's a good time. It is above average. It's a fun watch. The whole family can go. Like, yeah, it's a good time. It's good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a good
Also,
time, but oh, go ahead.
oh, we also played The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, which was a fantastic game, and I cannot tell you how much I enjoyed this. Team Sonic just randomly dropping a Sonic game on March 31st going, Happy April Fool's Day, observed, here is a murder mystery visual novel with a few aspects of classic Sonic gameplay. No, this isn't a joke. It's available for free on Steam. If you've never played a Sonic game in your life, you can play this and still have fun because our player character is such an obtuse disaster that like our character doesn't know who these people are or what's going on. So if you have no idea what's going on, you can still play it. It's a visual novel. It's a great time. If you have been a Sonic fan for years, the way they use the characters, the Easter eggs, the fact that it is straight up a murder mystery party like you would do with your friends, except it's these Sonic characters. And also there might be something else going on in the background. Like, I streamed it with my roommate. We sat down, we did all the voices. We had an absolutely fantastic time. That is the most fun I've had with a Sonic game in years. It's beyond good. So yeah, it's The Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. It's free, it's on Steam. Everyone should play it. It's so much fun.
Nice. Yeah, sorry, I thought that was the end. So I was gonna be like, well, speaking of having a good time, you all had a good time here.
Yes, those are the two big things.
Yay. Well, thank you everybody so much for tuning in. Make sure to follow us on NTATNB on Twitter. We'll post pictures of the things that we talked about. You've been watching Nighttime at the Nerd Bar, bringing you that Monday energy and fun. And where can people find you online, Katie?
You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. We do reaction videos and discussion videos and Twitch VODs on that YouTube channel. Also, like I said, I've got the Twitch going. We're having a really good time. I am also a co-host on Silver Screams, which is a horror themed channel. And our most recent thing there has been our talk about Scream 6. It's about an hour and a half of us losing our minds over that movie because it was incredible. First 20, 30 minutes are spoiler free, so if you kind of want to get a taste for what it's for. We also do horror flavored reactions on there, and we have some pretty crazy ones. I believe I nearly climbed a wall reacting to the Evil Dead Rises trailer. There were, it was a red band, and if you know Evil Dead, they do some stuff. There's a reason that the hashtag on Twitter for Evil Dead Rises, like, you know how sometimes there's an emoji after a hashtag if it's officially sponsored? Mm-hmm. The one for Evil Dead Rises is a cheese grater. There's a reason for that. Yeah, no, that's the face. You're right. So, yeah, if you want to see me kind of lose my mind doing horror reactions, that is on the Silver Screams channel on YouTube.
Nice. And you can all y'all can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. I was like, anything. I mean, the big things were the Suzume interviews, which we mentioned. Again, link down below, as well as I'll add the description Demon Slayer interviews. So if you're like, oh yeah, I want to hear more from those voice actors, you can check those out. And on the Fanversation Instagram, as well as the NTATNB one and the Fanversation TikTok, been posting more stuff from WonderCon. Like, we just posted a bunch of cool cosplay we saw. So check those out as well and give them a follow. Leave comments down below what you thought of the episode. And I think that's about it for now. And we'll see you not next week, but the week after. And just stay tuned on our channels that will let you know if something else is going to be during this time slot. But yeah, thank you everybody. Take care and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.